Welcome to a special episode of Monster Men. Today we're going to talk about a paranormal celebrity that you may or may not have heard of before. We've mentioned him here, but you've actually talked to him.
I got to be on one of his shows, which is like a high point of my fledgling career right now. It's so cool.
It's Jim Harold, and he is he runs probably the most successful or popular paranormal podcast called
the Paranormal Podcast.
And maybe half the battle is he got the name before everybody else.
You know what? He got the name. He's got some chops. He's got pretty good interviewing skills. He's got a great, easygoing kind of voice, and
he's got sort of a professional journalist approach to it. Yeah. He's not like a Wiccan or a goth person who's like, I believe in this and you have to too, or I don't believe in anything and you're wrong. He just lets the person talk. He'll chime in with his 2 cents, but it's like all about the guest.
But the amazing thing is, it's him and his guests are exactly like you and me. They are people who were raised on in search of. I mean, we're in search of fanatics. Everything that we are was based on in search of. And Night Stalker and Twilight Zone and all those things are what made Jim who he is and why he created that
Creature feature. Chiller.
So that's a go-to show for us. I mean, he has the Paranormal Podcast and Campfire Tales. And
well, he's got JimHarold.com.
Right, go to and that'll be here.
Paranormal Podcast and Campfire are free podcasts.
Yeah, you can't be free.
And on
download iTunes all the time.
And on YouTube and on iTunes is also the Paranormal Report, which is a podcast, a video podcast that he does. I'm spacing on the guy's name now, and he does it with Clayton Morris. And Clayton's like a guy on like Fox
from Philly, isn't he from Philadelphia?
Yeah. And so I mean, he's a very polished TV professional,
right?
But it's like his chance to wear his Philly shirt and just talk about
talk about things that interest him.
And Clayton's got a nice little presence as well. He's got like a new daddy podcast. He used to do a social media thing, so he's out there too. But I'm glad to see that Jim has like a partner out there.
Jim has interviewed the heaviest hitters in the paranormal field, and we're talking like Jeff Belanger and Stanton Friedman, and oh my God, there's just too many to name at this point.
And he does everything from ghosts to Bigfoot to
UFOs, astrology. I mean,
demons,
everything. So he hits on everything, and he gets the top people in that particular field on his show, just discussing these incredible topics that just for guys like us, just blows your mind.
I'll tell you, if I ever have to do a drive, a few hours, I'll download several of those podcasts, put them on my phone, and then plug my phone into the car, and it just makes the time fly.
Yeah, I do it when I'm doing stuff around the house.
His Bigfoot show recently was awesome.
Oh yeah.
There's several. The kid who grew up in the Amityville horror house he had on.
Yeah.
He had a guy from, I think it was from England, who did a ghost hunting TV show. So he told you some of the kind of behind the scenes of
stuff,
that.
Yeah. No, he's got great shows. And one of the things that he does have, he has a Paranormal Plus Club, which is everything that we've talked about is free. And that's the amazing thing, is it's free. There's so much content that he's put out there. But he also has a Paranormal Plus Club where you can join monthly or a yearly subscription for I think just under $80. And you get access to everything that's out there, plus hundreds of other.
He has a true crime podcast. He's got a weekly weird news kind of one. More supernatural things. I think he's doing a paranormal class.
I don't. Yeah, he's started doing a paranormal class this year. I don't know how he does it. How he finds the time.
Well, as people who do this kind of thing, we're not making any money from doing this.
Right.
We're just doing it as a labor of love. He's hoping to turn this into his profession, and God knows we'd love to do that too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, which is why he put out this this book, Campfire Tales, which is this is literally listeners to his show and their various ghost
Campfire
stories.
is a show where people call in and give their their personal ghost stories, which we'd like to do something like that too. You actually called Campfire.
I was on the show. That was awesome. I got to talk about one of my my paranormal experiences, and
that was the day before we saw The Thing, I think.
I hope, Jim, if you're going to do part 2, please put my story in there. I had a great time. Jim was a gracious host.
We both bought the book because to support his show and his efforts.
Yeah.
The least you can do is go buy. This is the kind of book. It's a great airplane read, or short chapters. This isn't like a novel that you sit down and read.
It's just fun. It's literally like sitting around the campfire listening to people tell their ghost stories.
Yeah. And easy read, made up of user stories.
Yeah.
Good
book.
Paranormal Podcast, I swear, like every week I'm so psyched when the next one comes out.
Yeah. And if I'm going on a long trip, I'll download like 5 or 6 of them and, just listen to them on the trip.
Their show about the Mothman is one of the best things I've ever heard, too.
That got me into the Mothman. I mean, the Mothman was kind of like this ancillary kind of character in the paranormal field. And, listening to Jim's show on the Mothman got me to watch the documentaries that were made and read the book, The Mothman Prophecies by John Keel. So...
And there's some episodes where you listen to his guests and you're like, that guy's a loony bin, he's a crackpot, and then other ones are like, I need to learn more about what this person is saying.
Right.
It's so good.
There's like UFO Bob or something. That guy's completely off his rocker. But there's a serious people who are taking this field seriously, and just incredible listens. And Jim's a really good interviewer. And I think anybody who is into the paranormal should listen to his show, watch his show. And join the Paranormal Plus Club, because we need more people like Jim out there. Absolutely. If we could do it full time, we will. So
he lets you plug your book.
Yeah. So if you buy Campfire Tales and Forest of Shadows,
you actually could confuse them on a bookshelf.
Yeah, really, they do look similar. Jim and I could do this full time and entertain you and inform you. And
me and Clayton will stick with the video stuff. But that's it. We want to give a shout out to Jim Harold. Keep up the good work, and
yeah, Jim.
You've inspired the Monster Men. We're following your footsteps, man. So thank you. We'll give you the Monster Man salute.
All right, so join the Paranormal Plus Club, everybody.
JimHarold.com, and we'll see you next time on Monster Men.
Bye, Jim.